And so, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and happy new year to everybody around the world. It isn't actually happy new year. Well, it's happy the 12th of January or the 13th if you're in Australia, 2019. A new year, a new beginning. And first of all, 10 years, celebrating 10 years on YouTube. This is a special moment for us all at BWTM, or as we were known back then as Bayloric TV, now known as BWTM. So 10 years we spent for, and the last few years breaking away and doing the sports channel and running BWTM, doing entertainment, music, news, food, culture, all the rest of it was on the BWTM channel. And then on the other channel, of course, those of you who know me from the sports side of things, particularly the boxing, that's where you would have seen the BWTM sports. And, you know, for many years, people have kind of said, well, yeah, you just do boxing. And they really didn't take the time to look at the other stuff that BWTM has been doing over the years. Well, now, in 2019, we are back under one banner, BWTM Online. So if you like your sports and you just want to watch your sports, there's a playlist just for sports. So if you just want to watch, those of you who come from the boxing, that doesn't change. You just tune in, and when the boxing's on, you just click on and you do the boxing. It will be for live interviews or shows or live commentary. None of that changes. It's just the channel that is on now. And then plans also to have it on BWTM Online, www.BWTM Online. That will be the online TV station as to where we are going to be and doing broadcasting in the near future. So, with all that being said, I hope that you are all well. For those of you who have been on the channel of recent times, we have our first reality show with Dr. Atia Jones, author, metaphysics physician, and we're following her journey with the Body Street. Our partner is the Body Street in Worthing, a local business, fitness health business, and they say they guarantee 20 minutes a week is all you need to get in shape every week, and they're guaranteeing that is 3 times the amount of intensity as you would get at a local gym. So we're following the journey. We're following that well. So that's one thing. So that's one reality show we've got. Also, as part of our health and lifestyle channel, we are doing various people from the world of health and lifestyle, different ways of healing people. We've had Dennis White, who also came from a martial arts background. And for those of you in boxing, he also had sparred numerous rounds with the Dark Destroyer, Nigel Benn, 2-time middle champion of the world, one at middleweight, one at super middleweight, WBO middleweight champion, WBC super middleweight champion of the world. That was he was training with Nigel Benn. Very interesting interview on the channel with that. We also have Ken Su as well. This brother is talking about health, lifestyle, particularly with food, vegan, vegetarian, and raw foods. So how you can have a much better, healthier lifestyle and a healthier diet. So some stuff like that. Of course, check out our news stories, our entertainment, music videos, interviews such as the former manager of Destiny's Child, Kenny Moore, has spoken exclusively on a number of occasions, talking about the plans of a documentary and all sorts of stuff about the girls. So it's on the channel as well. So much stuff to check out. So at your leisure, please take your time to look through the channel and see what we are offering on the channel. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about tonight are a number of people. First of all, we're talking from the world of boxing. We'll be talking about Manny Pacquiao, Adrian Broner, the comeback of Vladimir Klitschko, Khan versus Crawford, and whatever other business. So first and foremost, let's talk about Pacquiao versus Crawford. Pacquiao's doing what Pacquiao's always been doing. He's always in tremendous shape. You'll never see Pacquiao turn up to a fight overweight. You'll never see Pacquiao out of shape. You never see Pacquiao Pacquiao is dedicated to sport. Say what else you want to say about Pacquiao outside of the sport, inside of the sport, in terms of what he does as a fighter and as as he trains. He's always in magnificent condition. He's always in magnificent shape, and a highly competitive individual with some fierce knockout power in that left hand. Adrian Broner, at the low weights, he looked like a superstar in the making. At the lighter weights, he was physically very strong, punching power, durable, had some skills there, and people compared him to Floyd Mayweather. But a lack of discipline outside of the ring and whatever else Broner was getting himself caught up into affected his journey inside the ring. And so therefore we have a guy that's moved up in weight, and as he's moved up in weight, he's found he can't budge the bigger guys. He can't bully the bigger guys. And what he would have done in the lower weight divisions, he's finding it very difficult to do against the upper echelons of the welterweight division. It's been a problem for Adrian Broner. And his lack of work rate and work ethic, whatever he does in training is fine. But when it comes to the ring and fighting, Adrian Broner has yet to deliver for a long while now since he's moved up in weight. If you've noticed in his fights, he does a lot of talking. But when it comes down to actually the delivery of the performance, people are left scratching their heads wondering why Adrian Broner has not performed or is not performing well. Simply because I believe, in my personal opinion, that Adrian Broner's style is pretty one-dimensional. And it's a case of, you know, you working at a slower work rate than him. He can be outworked, which has been shown before. The highlight of Adrian Broner's career at the moment is the left hook that dropped Sean Porter. That is the highlight of Adrian Broner's career at the moment. Or whatever other buffoonery things he's been doing outside of the ring. People don't talk about Adrian Broner's performances from what he does inside the ring. It's more about what he does outside the ring, the interviews he does, the shenanigans he gets caught up with, but not his actual boxing career. His boxing career, to me, for where his talent is, has been an absolute failure. And I can't take anything that Adrian Broner says seriously. He says he's had a great training camp, but he always says he has a great training camp. I'm not concerned about the training camp. For me, I'm concerned about the performances. And based on these two guys, the one thing they both do is that they train hard. I would not knock any fighter for that. But preparation, Pacquiao is always immaculately prepared. And at 40 years old, people will wonder, how much more can you squeeze out of Manny Pacquiao? How many more fights are there left in Pacquiao? Pacquiao's been fighting for a long, long time. And Father Time catches up with everybody. I don't care how good a fighter you are. I don't care how long you've been fighting. Father Time catches up with us all. And that is Broner, really, people's hoping Broner's only chance of beating Manny Pacquiao. Because he is not going to outbox Manny Pacquiao. Not going to happen. Too flat-footed. Low output of punches, and these are the sort of guys that Pacquiao feasts on. You know, Broner's not going to be moving anywhere, and yet Broner is a counter puncher, but his hand speed is nowhere near the hand speed of Pacquiao. Pacquiao's going to be in and out before Broner can do anything of real damage, unless Pacquiao slowed up a bit. That's where Broner may have a chance of knocking Pacquiao out. Now let's take this into consideration. The guys who've given Pacquiao the biggest problems are guys who can actually counterpunch and counterpunch well and are quite nimble on their feet. A guy like Juan Manuel Marquez always gave Pacquiao problems because he always timed Pacquiao when he was coming in and was able to counter Pacquiao. And, you know, to where Pacquiao's weaknesses were, Marquez has a great answer to it. It was the right hand for him. And Pacquiao couldn't get out of the way of the right hand. In all the fights they fought with Marquez had always gave Pacquiao problems. To the last fight where Pacquiao got himself knocked out because of his trainer, Freddie Roach, who wanted to go for the knockout. Now, in this fight here, if Pacquiao is still the same fighter, I don't think, when I say he's the same fighter, as long as he comes in with, you know, the speed and the power that he's been noted for years, you know, and he can fight at that good work rate for 12 rounds, I think he's going to end up knocking Adrian Broner out. I really do, because I just don't see Broner getting out of the way at the left hand. And Mayweather got caught with the left hand by Pacquiao, but he was able to negotiate that. I don't see Broner be able to negotiate that left hand. In fact, I can see that Broner being a sitting duck for that left hand. I don't believe they would put Pacquiao in fights with guys that he was going to surely beat him. You know, the Crawford fight would have been different altogether. But against Adrian Broner now, Broner's a sitting duck. The thing with Adrian Broner is he's got no other style. He tucks up, he walks forward, and he tries to bully you to the ropes. That's what Broner's style is about. In the low weight divisions, and all he's done is just taken that to the higher weight divisions. So I can't see now, right now, in 2019, where Broner's going to make the adjustments that he could have made in the Mikey Garcia fight, they could have made in the Jesse Vargas fight, they could have made in the Sean Porter fight. Why is he going to suddenly make those adjustments now? I just don't see it. I think it's going to be the same old Adrian Broner coming out trying to do the same old things in hoping that what he's been doing previously is going to help him now. And I can see him getting hit with a straight left hand and you know, Pacquiao overwhelming him. Because when he's so lazy throwing 1-2 punches at a time, Pacquiao's going to be popping him in his mouth for 3, 4, 5 punches. Pacquiao's a different animal when he gets in that ring. It's all well and good Pacquiao talking to me now and smiling. He's very nice. Pacquiao's good cop, bad cop. Well, Pacquiao talk to you in a minute. It's all nice and good and cool and smiling and laughing. And then when Pacquiao gets in the ring with you and he starts hitting with them left hands, it's never met altogether. So for me, I'm looking at Pacquiao by knockout because Broner's so flat-footed. He's not going to get on his toes for this one. I can't see it. And I think Broner's going to hope that his strength and somehow he can bully Pacquiao to ropes. That's not going to work. Even Mayweather was on his toes against Pacquiao. He wasn't stucking around to go toe-to-toe with Pacquiao. He was popping his right hand and out of the way. Broner can't do that. Broner's not shown he can fight like Mayweather. Not now, not ever. So, you know, he's got a shoulder roll. That's what Mayweather does. And Mayweather does the shoulder roll properly. Mayweather doesn't get dropped by his shoulder roll, whereas this guy does. So I'm looking for Pacquiao to exploit Broner, beat him, and then for that fight to set up Mayweather, Pacquiao 2. That's what I think. I think that all this is should Pacquiao beat Broner, he fights Mayweather in a rematch in 2019. I see that fight happening. I really do. Even more so the fact that I saw Mayweather and Pacquiao at a basketball game, and then at the end of last year where we saw Broner and Mayweather and Pacquiao talking about a rematch, and he's coming back. So Mayweather's done his fight, just waiting for Pacquiao to handle his business, and I think we'll see Mayweather Pacquiao 2, and the fans will buy it. Okay, coming up next, Vladimir Klitschko. Hold on a second. I'm doing all this talking, and I haven't even changed things over. So there we go. Adrian Broner and Manny Pacquiao. Sorry, my apologies for that. Busy talking and didn't even. So my prediction for this fight is I think Pacquiao knocks Adrian Broner out in this fight. Too flat-footed. Pacquiao's it's too hard, and I just think that his in and out movement is going to cause him a lot of problems. Okay, next up, Vladimir Klitschko, the return of Vladimir Klitschko. Well, this should be of no surprise to anyone connected to BWTM Sports or BWTM Online. We kind of broke it to you with Uncle James Alibashir, who spoke of this happening. He said that after the same night that Joshua knocked out Klitschko, he said, I repeat, he says, I would not be surprised if this was if we saw Klitschko back in the ring again. Now, what for me, I don't understand why Klitschko's taking so long to come back in the ring. He took a hiatus out after the Fury debacle for the second fight. Now he's coming back, and then he takes 2 years out. Then he fights Joshua, gets knocked out, and then the process of him taking the Joshua fight, for me, he should have had James Alibashir in his corner or somebody else who could have given him a different way to approach the fight against Joshua. So now he's going to come back now and fight now in 2019. And somehow there are people out there that believe he's going to come back and rule the heavyweight division. Not so. The heavyweight division has evolved since. And I think now in 2019, there are just better fighters around. So that's my thoughts on that. And I don't think it ends up well for Vladimir Klitschko. I really don't. I think Vladimir Klitschko is coming back to get beat. And another thing is that they're talking about Klitschko potentially fighting Dillian Whyte. The only thing interesting about that fight is that Klitschko used to spar with Dillian White, and I from what I understand, used to beat up. Klitschko used to beat up Dillian White in sparring, or he used to put beatings on Dillian White. But that would be understandable if you look at where Dillian White's career was at the time. That was before Dillian White even had his first fight against Joshua. So that'll tell you a lot. Joshua and Klitschko were in sparring. Joshua and White were in that sparring camp, I believe. Because, you know, and if you listen to some of the interviews I've done with Uncle Bashir, he'll tell you about, you know, when he had to split up White and Joshua because they had proper beef between the two of them. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is if Klitschko White is made, again, this is a nonsense. If the best promoter, according to the Hearnators, the people that support Eddie Hearn, these people that believe that Eddie Hearn's the best thing since sliced bread and the best promoter in the world, if he can put together a fight between Klitschko and White and put that as pay-per-view, I'm done. As far as I'm concerned, you are the best promoter based on the fights you can put and negotiate together. The fans have been asking for Amir Khan versus Kell Brook for a number of years. It has not happened. We want to see Kell Brook fight the best fighters in the world. When he gets the opportunity to fight the best fighters in the world, you throw him under the bus. What do? You get Kell Brook against Gennady Golovkin. And then from Gennady Golovkin, you stick him in against Errol Spence. He didn't have to take the Gennady Golovkin fight. There was no need for him to take the Gennady Golovkin fight. You spent so many years building this guy up, Kell Brook, into being this superstar fighter. He's going to fight this superstar. He's going to fight that superstar. He's going to fight this superstar. This fight falls through. That fight falls through. This fight falls through. So what he has to do is jump up 2 weight divisions and fight a middleweight champion, and then get himself seriously hurt by Gennady Golovkin. What was the point of that? What was the point of building up through all those years? I mean, sure, there's other things behind the scenes that would have led to that. Maybe Brook owing money. That's the only thing I could think of it. But otherwise, why would you move up 2 weight divisions to go and fight Golovkin when you hadn't really even established yourself in the welterweight division? Keith Thurman wanted to fight him. Keith Thurman's almost number 1. You know, I thought we had a better, I'm not saying we were beating Errol Spence, but we had a better chance fighting Errol Spence, defend his title against Errol Spence unbeaten than he did with one eye, if you get what I'm saying. So now Khan's going to go and fight Crawford. I can see exactly why he wants to fight Crawford. First of all, he's going to think to himself, well, Crawford came from the lightweight division, light welterweight division. So, yeah, he's a guy like myself. He's not such a big frame guy like Brook. So I guess the punching power isn't going to be as hard. So he's totally up in his brain. Yeah, you know what? Crawford's a world champion. Yeah, that as well. So I get to fight for a world title. Oh, yeah, of course. He's one of the pound for pound the best fighters in the world. And yeah, of course. Yeah, you know, he's been undisputed champion. So Kell Brook's been a world champion, yes, but he's never been recognized as number 1 in the world in the welterweight division ever. 2, he's never been considered pound for pound the best fighter in the world, not even remotely close to it. 3, he's a world champion in 2 different weight divisions. And Kell Brook's never done that either. So really and truly, boxing fans, that's why Kell Brook and Khan is not happening. And plus, why do you want to get beat by Kell Brook? You get beat by Kell Brook, so what? But if you get beat by Crawford, then, you know, he's a pound for pound top fighter and he's a world champion. So Crawford's not somebody to be laughed at. So this might not sound great for British boxing fans, but Khan don't care about British boxing fans. He cares about his career. And where's he going to get paid more money? Well, you would think that the Kell Brook fight would pay more money. But at this point, he's going to get paid good, get paid well. And on top of getting paid well, he's going to get in a shot at the world title. Brook can't offer him no world title shot. Nobody knows what division. Is he welterweight now? Is he light middleweight? What is he? What's his ambition? So at least we know he's fighting Crawford. And for those people out there that think that Khan is ducking Crawford, ducking Brook, well, it's like ducking. It's like ducking a truck to get hit by a freight train. So, yeah, I could. You're right, Mark. I could possibly see Brook v Khan in a farewell fight. Yeah, I could see that, Mark. Could see that. That's not if. Listen, let me tell you the history about this fight. something that a lot of the boxing public will not know, and a lot of the boxing people will probably break afterwards. But Crawford, I asked Crawford this before he was even world champion back, Amir Khan, and he said some very interesting things about Amir Khan. He felt it was insulted that people thought that Khan could beat Crawford. And I'll tell you something now, Khan is in for a cruel beating from Terence Crawford, because Crawford is clinical and he's a nasty piece of work, Crawford, when it comes to being in the ring and going about business. This ain't no joke thing with Crawford. Let me get this picture up, because I'm talking here and I should have brought the picture up. Let me see if I can get that Khan Crawford picture up. See if I can. Did I get it up there? Let me see if I get it for you. Yeah. So here we go. So yeah, he said that, you know, he wants to fight. He's always wanted to fight Khan, and he doesn't rate Khan that highly at all. Crawford, he doesn't rate him highly at all, and Khan's fans are going to make it worse. They're going to make this beating. This is a what they call a reserved beating. This is what's going to happen. You're going to see it's going to be a reserved beating. People saying, oh, yeah, well, no, Khan's going to beat him because of his speed. I mean, anytime Khan gets into a fight, people say speed. They don't talk about his boxing IQ. They don't talk about his actual boxing ability. They talk about speed. And if you stand in front of Amir Khan and look at him like Devon Alexander did, and just look at him, then, yeah, Khan's going to blitz you. But if you look at the last fight Khan had, where he got dropped by a guy that nobody cared too much for and didn't rate very highly, just think about if that's Terence Crawford that's hitting him. And for you who think that Terence Crawford can't punch, watch and see what he does to Amir Khan. First of all, Amir Khan is not a better boxer than Terence Crawford. Let's get that straight. Fundamentally, not a better boxer than Terence Crawford. I would even argue, say he's even as strong as Terence Crawford. He doesn't have the ring generalship like a Terence Crawford. He's defensively not as good as Terence Crawford. He hasn't got as good footwork as Terence Crawford. So Khan's now going to get in the ring with a guy who's a better boxer than him, who's arguably a better puncher than him, who's established, done more than him in his career. Right? So I just don't see it. But people will come out and talk about, you've been warned, Khan's speed and how his speed's going to beat Crawford. But Crawford's got some fast hands himself. Yeah? And he's coming up from that light welter to welterweight. So Khan is not the only one who's got fast hands. Soon as Crawford hits him on that chin, you're gonna know about it. And that'll be early as well. Crawford will nail him early. But Crawford, depending on what Khan says to Crawford may go and try and take him out there real early, and you know, or Crawford may systematically break Khan down, now picking him with shots to the body and working him over. Depends on what mood Crawford is in. This guy can box him and he can brawl him, and he can fight on the inside, he can fight on the outside. Khan's got no inside game, so the minute Crawford gets inside on Khan, which he will do, when he gets inside, that's like going to be sweet Christmas for Crawford, and he'll work him inside and bring uppercuts upstairs. It's a bad fight for Khan, but Khan's probably thinking, yeah, well, if I'm going to get beat, I get beat by Crawford. For me, the Brook fight would be in terms of knockout power, Brook could end the fight in one shot and brutal. And I think Brook would want to do that. With Crawford now, he's the kind of guy that would beat you up and beat you up and beat you up and beat you up. This is more of a punishing fight for Khan than the Brook fight. Because the Brook fight now, Brook would just look to take his head out straight away. For Crawford now, he would systematically take Khan apart. He would take him apart. Beat Khan to the punch. Outbox him. Outpunch him. Outwork him. Outmaneuver him. So you can have fast hands, but if you can't hit the person because they're maneuvering out the way, then, you know, and it's different between one guy who looks after his body and one guy who I think is shot. Khan's legs have gone for me. And that's the best thing probably about Khan is be able to move around the ring. You look at his last fight, look absolutely shot. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this fight with Khan. Because to me, if I'm honest, I think Crawford can make short work of Khan. He really can. But his fans, Khan's fans, and they're some of the, not being funny, they're some of the most annoying fans in the world. You know, because they just don't listen. They don't listen. They don't listen to the guy that just, they forget about the times Khan's been knocked out and why he's been knocked out. He's been knocked out because of a low IQ. He does the same things over and over again. He puts himself in positions where a guy of that elite level should not be putting himself in position to get hit. He still hasn't learned to keep his hands up when he's in close. That's how I got knocked out by Canelo. Threw the same punch twice, dropped his left hand, and boom, a right hand over the top. That's all. Moving back in straight lines. Khan does the same things over and over and over again. He doesn't listen. And he don't learn. And I don't think Khan's improved as a fighter. When he went to Freddie Roach's gym, that was the worst thing he could have done. Oh, Freddie Roach is a great trainer. Not for Khan, he wasn't. Because that's where he went to that gym, and Khan was macho, man. He wanted to go and have a spar and a fight with everyone, innit? Instead of him learning his trade and learning how to be more of a defensive wizard, or at least learning how to protect his chin, he'd been probably better off going to, maybe better off working with Virgil Hunter. But the damage was done when he fought the Danny Garcia fight. And I don't think, for me, Khan has ever recovered from the Danny Garcia defeat. I just don't. That was a beating, that was. You know, and I went out and I predicted that Garcia was going to knock him out. And I don't know what Devin Alexander was doing that night. I mean, he looked like a tourist on the night when he was fighting Khan. He was just looking at Khan all night long. Look at him like a zombie or like a fanboy, just following Khan around the ring. And Devin Alexander is so much better fighter than that. But you got to give Khan some credit for it. Listen, if you walk in straight lines against Khan and you keep your hands up and you look at him, well, he's going to blitz you all night long. He's got, at times, like in that fight, the last fight he had, he showed world-class hand speed and shot selection, can do that. But more often than not, Khan wastes a lot of punches. And when he opens up, he is probably the most defensively irresponsible fighter in boxing today at elite level. Because when he's opening up, that's when he leaves himself exposed. Look at all the times Khan's been knocked out. Look at the card. Look at the way he got knocked out by Canelo. Look at the way he got knocked out by Garcia. Look at the way he got knocked out by Prescott. Look at the times he's been dropped. When he's been on the offensive, he pays no attention to defense. So for all the years Khan's been boxing, he makes the same mistakes. And his fans don't see it until he gets literally laid out flat like a carpet. And then they come up with all the excuses afterwards. Oh, well, he was winning the fight against Canelo. Yeah, and he was outboxing Danny Garcia. Oh, yeah. And well, what about the Prescott fight? What are you going to tell me about that? So, you know, you don't want Freddie Roach in your corner. I've said it before, you don't want Freddie Roach in your corner when you're going into big fights and you have to be worrying about your defense. No. So for Pacquiao, there's always that possibility when you're with Pacquiao and with Roach. There's always that possibility that Pacquiao could get knocked out because Roach will always encourage him to go for the knockout. So Mark says, Khan and Crawford would be a good athletic contest between two great boxers while it lasts. He's obviously going for the US pay-per-view money, and he can get the UK pay-per-view money after. Khan knows. Crawford or Brook both have a good chance of beating him, so he's just collecting retirement money in order of preference. I agree with you there. Roach's current health is a testament to his fighting and now training strategy. He would have got Fury KO'd for sure if he this way. Yeah, Fury would have got KO'd without a shadow of a doubt. So, yeah. So those are my thoughts. Any other thoughts? Dillian Whyte. I've been banging on about this guy for ages, and I keep saying it. Dillian Whyte needs to leave his promoter, and he needs to join either Frank Warren or Al Heyman. Now, if they offer Dillian Whyte a fight against Klitschko, that is the ultimate insult. And I don't want any fans telling me, "Oh yeah, it's a good fight." Good, based on what? Based on what? You know, and fans will turn a blind eye. They'll turn around and tell you, "Well, you know, Dillian Whyte, he fought Joshua fought Klitschko. It was the best Klitschko, but 2 years earlier, Fury fought him, and it was worse Klitschko." How does that work out? What did Klitschko do between the Fury fight and the Joshua fight, apart from just being inactive as a boxer? If Klitschko's to be taken seriously in his comeback, he needs to have he needs James Ali Bashir in his corner. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And I think most of the boxing world appreciate that as well. Right, I think that's about it for now, unless there's anything else. Thank you for watching and tuning in, Mark. Thank you so much. This is where we're going to be for all the shows from now on. So once again, thank you for your support. And once again, Happy New Year. Let's see. Klitschko versus Whyte would be a good, exciting fight, though, between two bangers with not so concrete chins. Whyte could take it for the money, and Klitschko would become a mandatory buy mark. Yes. Yeah. I don't want to see that fight at all. I want to see Dillian Whyte fighting for a world title. But that's just me. Right. Let me get myself out of here and get myself over to the gaming channel. You've been watching BWTM Online. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video.